Uh, hey everybody. Patty, hit the menu button to go back one. We're trying to get Mama all set up so you can watch us on the TV in there. I guess you'll be watching us over our corner, over my shoulder. I'll have to get over here and block the TV like this. There we go. Patty will be joining us in a second. Well, I just kind of look like a head just floating in the darkness.
I wore my whole body tonight.
Glad Patty's back with us.
Yes.
How are we for sound? It is over there on the chair or something. Patty is feeling much better, Noah's Ark. Thank you. Good evening, Tina. Hey, Kelly. And here's Tomas. Tomasito is with us. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Tell them where you just came back from.
New York.
No, not New York. Well, you can tell them about that, too. Yeah, we can tell them about your trip.
I just came back.
No, you didn't. You didn't just come back from New York.
Just now, Tomas.
Where did you just come back from?
The barn.
The barn. And what were you doing in the barn?
Just standing.
Just standing. Why were you in the barn?
What do you want me to
Why
do?
was Monty in the barn? It's
Um,
like pulling teeth. Can y'all hear me okay? My sound meter, I seem like I need to pump it up. I'm going to pump up the volume. Pump up the volume.
Tell them why I had to go to the barn to check on.
Why did
something.
Monty have to go to the barn?
check on the baby goat.
To check on the baby goats. That's right. Now look,
Okay,
we're
you gonna sit up here too?
we're still kind of. Hey, Mr. Rain. I don't know how I feel about little buddy. I know you're talking to Tobias. Mr. Rain said, "What's up, little buddy?" Say, "What's happening, Mr. Rain?" Say, "What's up, Mr. Rain?"
What's up?
Ask him how his teeth are.
What?
Ask him how his teeth are. Ask him if his teeth are okay.
What happened to him?
He uses his teeth to carve little bowls. He's got false teeth, though. He takes them out and scoops out the wood. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. So we're still kind of technologically at a disadvantage. My replacement laptop is in and it's running well, and but I've yet to get the streaming software downloaded and set up on my machine. Plus, I've got to get an adapter so that I can plug in the USB camera. So we're using Patty's laptop, and Patty's version of software is limited. It's the free version, and so I can't adjust photographs. I can't, sometimes when you import photos, it brings them in sideways, like this one. No,
that's how it
that
was.
one. Oh, it's the next one. Yeah, so this is why they were in the barn just now, checking on the baby goats, the brand new baby goats.
Yes.
That's the one that is sideways, and I can't do anything about it. It is what it is. We have had an explosion of baby goats here at AldermanFarms over the last, what?
From
2
the
weeks?
last cold spell. I don't
Yeah,
know.
from the last cold spell. From the last,
Good news is we only have one more to go.
yeah, and
So.
she'll probably, Mr. Rain says, I smell pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Miss Beth Mitchell says that she's eating pizza too.
Yeah. Well, I guess this video is too long. I was hoping to, here we go. I was going to let them see the look.
And Dolly Perry just finished pizza.
I think I took the audio off of this video, so, and I shouldn't have done that. I should have left the video on there, because right now I'm telling you about how some friends of ours gave us that little playhouse for our kids when they were little.
Mm-hmm.
And they got some good use out of it, but I'll tell you what, the goats have gotten a lot more use out of it than the kids did.
Yes.
What do you think?
Yes, most definitely. Tomas has played it at some, but it's mostly been a goat house since we've had Tomas. So.
I'll tell you the most interesting use for that playhouse, though, was a cow estrus meter.
Yeah, yeah.
We used that playhouse to determine when Honey, our Jersey cow, was in standing heat, because we would have that playhouse out in the pasture, And if we looked out in the pasture and it was all to pieces and flat on the ground, we knew that Honey was in standing heat because she had jumped up on it. And that was so funny. And it was always right.
Yep.
I mean, it was a great indicator.
Yep.
How did that
So, do what?
That house is the house that the goats get new babies.
Yeah, that's where the new babies like to stay, in the house. There comes Brownie and her little man. He was the first one to be born this kidding season, and he's hiding from me with the camera. But give me just a minute. You're going to get to see Fancy and I think the other little fella.
No, Beth said her goat's due in March.
Yay!
And Dolly Perry wanted to know bucklings or doelings, and we have one of each for the new ones tonight.
For the ones that were born today, we have one of each. And
so that makes a total of what? 4 bucks and 2 does?
Yes, 4 bucks and 2 does. There's
Fancy.
That's
the
Spree's
other
little girl. And she looks just like her mom. She's half Nubian and half Oberhasli. But golly, her daddy could have been an maybe we got an Oberhasli buck that snuck in through the woods somewhere. Because she looks forevermore 100% Oberhasli.
Tomas wants some water, baby.
Oh, you want some water? All right, sir.
But,
hey, Jatan. Hey, everybody. Sorry about missing folks coming in and saying, hey, I'm terrible about that. Hey, Terry. Bandana Grandma. The most huggable neck on the planet.
Can we scoot in a little bit or no?
Ian, what do you mean? You need me to go down some? I'll just scoot off the screen. How about that?
No, that's good.
Nobody comes here to see me anyway. They all come here to see y'all.
Now, if we scoot this back a little bit.
Thanks, Mr. Rain. They are healthy. And I will note for the record, Mr. Rain, none of them are pygmy goats.
Let's scoot that back there.
Ain't happening. We're not having pygmy goats on the property. Yeah, but now you can see that I've got a shirt on, that I'm not just a floating head.
We also might eventually one day have like some Nigerian dwarfs or something.
Well, maybe Nigerian dwarfs, but pygmies are right out of the question. Because they are escape artists.
Well.
Bonterre, Miss Nunda says, hey, Tomas, you cutie patootie. She calls you a cutie patootie. Look, Tomas is trying. He's turning around watching himself on TV.
I'm watching this part.
What part is that?
It was the funny part that you did the funny face.
The head.
Oh, the funny floating head?
Mm-hmm.
The floating head?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Be careful with that now.
Beth says, Patty, how's your mom doing? Mama's back there. Raise your hand up, Mama. There she is.
She got her phone in her hand.
She said, oh gosh, I got my hands full. But yeah. So she's doing good, Beth. Thank you for asking.
Micro Homestead said you do a good floating head. Don't encourage him. Don't encourage. Oh.
Let me try.
Yeah, you do it, Tomas. Well.
Hey, we were just a floating head family.
You do it.
Walk like an Egyptian. King Tut.
Anyway, we didn't really plan our breeding very good, and we need to be a little more careful next year because last year we had babies starting to be born when it was really cold. I would rather them be born like in March.
Yeah.
Of course, that does kind of run into the garden season, so it'll be nice that we won't be birthing kids when we're trying to get ready for the garden and having to worry about that. But it's awfully cold. I hate having to deal with the babies when it's cold, which, of course, you know, we're going to be 18. Is that tomorrow night or 16?
16. No.
Monday
Tuesday night. Tuesday night when it's supposed to be in the 20s
nights.
again. I know Tuesday and Wednesday. I thought you said.
Anyway,
we've got another.
We're glad they're not born then, but
We've got another Arctic blast coming down, and I need to work on that plumbing tomorrow out there.
yeah. Oh, that you had pictures of that.
I got pictures of that. Yeah,
We
come
came
out-
from church.
We came out almost unscathed, which I knew it was like that. I knew it was misting out. I had one little crack. I didn't drain a pipe sufficiently enough. And we came coming down the driveway, coming home from church, and Patty's like, "What is that white over there?"
A big area of white.
Yeah.
I could see from the driveway, and we saw our ice formations over there.
Yeah, you can see in the right hand part of that. You see that red water hose. I don't know why I had that sticking up. Well, yeah, I don't know why I designed it like that, or I didn't design it. That's the problem.
That's just the way it happened.
Just the way it happened. But where I can control that water, I can drain it down out of that pipe. In fact, I did, I think, for the bad cold. But anyway, whatever. There's a little crack in the fixture, and so it's spewing water. So we had a nice little winter wonderland over
and
there.
I mean, at noon or 12:30 today, it was like that.
Yeah, it was like that at like noon or 12:30 today.
Hey, Mountain Mama.
I didn't see it.
You gotta go
Yes,
see
you did.
it.
I thought you walked
No,
over
he didn't
there.
go over there.
Oh, you didn't? He'll probably be there tomorrow.
Noah's Ark said you aren't supposed to be getting our temps. But hey, at least it's colder in Alaska today.
I know, right?
David said that it's 30s there today, so at least y'all are colder than us.
Yeah,
it
was in the mid 40s today.
Week, yeah.
Spring-like temperatures. But we just ain't built for this. And of course, Patty, you know what that means that we have more cold weather coming. You know what that means, right?
More baby goats.
Yeah, and more of that.
Oh yeah,
and more
it's already
snow.
starting.
We have been dealing with the worst doggone static electricity.
Oh my goodness, it's been crazy.
And it doesn't help when you have to dress like this to go outside.
Oh, that was cold. Tommy's back.
But
I
you
said,
scared me.
I scared you. I told him his back. He had perfect timing for his back going out.
My back went out, yeah.
I was having to go out with the axe and break the water.
Break the water for the animals. So
and
they
I
can
guess
drink.
if we're going to keep having temps like this, we're going to have to talk to our northern friends and find out
Well,
what
no,
they do to not have water freezing.
We can get heaters, but
Yeah.
that's just not something you normally an expense you don't have to deal with down here.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it was like for 4 or 5 days in a row, we
Yeah.
had to bust the water.
I know I never did count it to see what it ended up being, but they were telling us to expect 80 hours below temperature. I mean, below freezing.
Well, and I was looking at it. We're going to have at least 3 days. Well, I think it'll be I think Monday night it's going to get freezing, and it won't be above freezing until Wednesday. It's supposed to be 36 Wednesday.
I think that's one day fewer. I think.
And I know y'all guys up north think, that ain't no big deal, but it is a big deal to us because we're just not used to it.
We're not used to it.
Not used to it. It's
and
crazy.
and we've had some northern folks have come to our defense in the chat over the last few weeks when we've been complaining about the cold. Some folks who have lived in extreme northern climes and then have come down here in the south and experienced this kind of cold, and they said, with the humidity difference, it's cold down here. I mean,
it's colder here. So see, David says that's how he dresses when it's below 40. Minus 40.
Yeah.
So, see, that's why, David, it's
Well, I don't know what the
here.
humidity's like in Alaska.
Colder.
I may not. I don't know, but all I know is it's been cold.
Well, I know that they still go out and get work done when it is below zero. I mean, they have to. So,
Yeah.
I guess you get more used to it.
So
Beth,
go ahead.
Well, Beth has asked a couple of times what our plans are for the farm this year. But do you have something else you want to?
Yeah,
say
I got a
before we
couple
talk about
more
that?
we'll get through, and then we'll talk about plans because I did title it "Planning for 2018."
Okay, all right. I got my little
And then
book.
I'll tell you I'll tell you how we're going to talk about that. Well, I'll go ahead and tell you that now. This was Patty's idea, and it was a good idea. She decided to take some notes. It's always a good idea to talk over planning with your spouse, right? But just for fun, Patty said, "Hey, for our YouTube show last week, which we didn't get to do because Patty had the flu or something." She said, "I tell you what." She said, "You make a list of your plans. I'll make a list, and then we'll compare them live on YouTube without talking about them before. So that's going to be fun, and we'll do that in just a minute. But I did want to show you that we did." We got the watering facilities done and approved. I had to. It was kind of funny. The only one that's available for the critters right now, and there's also. I posted this video on Facebook, and there is monologue, but I turned it off for the purposes of the show. And what I was showing everybody was that the animals didn't want to get on it, so I'm having to feed them on top of the slab, which is not bad because it's a nice, clean place for them to eat.
Pete.
To get them up there on the, y'all, Tootsie, come on. Yeah, they're playing with Pete, and he's ready to come in. My poor old man. So anyway, I'm having to feed him. I'm having to feed them up on the slab to get them used to drinking water out of the new watering facility. But they're getting used to it, and it's going to be really nice because now we've got two. We thought ahead of time. Our buddy Bill who did most of the work for us, thought to put water spigots out there in addition to what feeds the water trough. So now we got two places out close to the road where we're going to have water available. And so that opens up a whole new planting area. And I don't know if Patty's got that on her list or not, but if not, we have to make sure to talk about what she thought about for planting out there in that area. I don't know how big it is. Quarter of an acre, you think, maybe? I bet it is. I bet it's a quarter of an acre.
What?
The area out in front of Mama's. In front of between the fence and the road.
No, baby, that's an acre or two.
Oh, it ain't that
Oh,
much.
between the fence and the road?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm talking about the area out front on the other side of the fence. So, let's see, what else?
Let's see.
Tomas has been having a camp over. He's been sleeping in his tent.
In the living room.
In the living room.
Well, it's too late.
Well, it's too late. Go look on the TV. You'll see it on the TV.
We got comments though.
All right.
Maria Weiss said that Danny from Deep South was saying that the solar minimums was talking about the solar minimum starting, and it will change the temperatures over the world for the next 15, 20 years or more. Which I believe that because my papa, I don't know how long papa's been dead, but anyway, he died at 106. So he's ice skated on ponds in Louisiana. But my sister Evie was here, and her husband's not 80 yet. But he remembers actually ice skating on ponds in Louisiana. So it used to get really cold. And we're in Mississippi, by the way. Somebody had asked that too. But, we have similar temperatures as Louisiana. But we were born, raised in Louisiana. But, I believe it's on a cycle,
For most of my life, I just finally remember this. For most of my life that I can remember, Daddy always said that it was about 10 degrees colder here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is. Yeah, typically it is. At least 2 degrees.
We live in fact, we live 98 miles. Didn't I figure that out? 98 miles from where I grew up. 98 miles pretty much north. But that's driving miles. That's not as a crow flies.
And Sherry at 70 says it's been snowing on and off all day where she lives. She lives in I guess it's North Mississippi.
A little bit north. Yeah,
north
I think that's right, Sherry. That's considered North Mississippi,
yeah,
I think.
I think so.
Yeah, I've been seeing reports in Starkville and flurries there and in Grenada and all over the place, and I'm over it. I could do it. I've seen the snow. If I want to see snow, I'll drive to it.
Hey, Christy, Beth said in Alabama winters can feel colder to her than when she lived in Kansas, and it was 20 below.
Yeah. So, somebody else, and Christy, it may have been you that said that before, but somebody else had mentioned that. I want to say it was somebody from the Dakotas who were saying they couldn't believe how cold it was down here with the temperatures way above what they were accustomed to, but it just felt so cold. Hey, Wanda.
Hey, nesting place. She says she loves the new watering trough. Nesting place did, said it looks really nice. And yeah, she thinks it's a cold for the birds too, but it is nice to have a winter, and it's true because we complain when we don't have a winter either. So
yeah, you know
it
what?
Is nice for having a
Here's
winter.
the thing. I don't know how many of you, because of where you are around the country, do you have any idea what I'm talking about when I mention the pestilence that is known as love bugs? Raise
You've
your
talked
hand,
about this
Raise your
before.
hand if you know what love bugs are. Well, they didn't used to be up here. They used to be Louisiana and South phenomenon. My dad said he remembered a time when he would be driving back up here to Mississippi and get just about to the Mississippi state line and not see anymore. Wanda, I'd be curious to know about Danny when they started being a problem where you guys are. I know that they became really, really, really bad around Katrina.
Mm-hmm.
But they were already bad, Patty, because what year was that when we came up here and we bush hogged out in the woods and I couldn't breathe?
That would have been.
That was pre-1999.
Yeah, that'd have been like in 97, 98.
1997, 1998, they were already up here because, in fact, right where this house is sitting, I had to walk behind Gravely, and we were just up here for our first or second trip, to where we wanted to start trying to camp a little bit, and I was walking behind that Gravely. I fired that Gravely off to mow down a big place. Did we have a little travel trailer, or was that just for a tent?
We may have had the pop-up.
I think we had a little pop-up.
No, we had the tent.
I don't remember, but anyway, I was trying to clear off a spot for that, and I literally had to pull my shirt up over my nose because within seconds that the Gravely almost disappeared, being covered with love bugs. So anyway, in the summer it's a pestilence. They've got like an acidic stuff in their body. They get all on the front of your car, and if you don't get them off, it'll ruin your paint job. I say all that to say this: they live in the ground. That's where they overwinter,
they like breed, or
I suppose, or lay eggs or something. And so, in order to cut them back or eliminate them, you got to have a ground freeze. And
good hard freeze.
A good hard freeze. And so I could be very thankful for this next blast of multi-day sub-freezing temperatures, because we've already had one, and any of them that survive that, maybe they'll get knocked out in this next little batch of freezing cold weather.
Mr. Rain said that his dad in the Carolinas remembers butchering a hog as a kid at first frost, and the meat would keep until spring in the spring house. Did you hear that?
No, say it again.
Are you serious?
I don't know you were talking to me. I thought you were just talking to the audience.
Mr. Rain said his dad in the Carolinas remembers butchering hogs as a kid at the first frost, and the meat would keep until spring in the spring house. And see, Papa, they always butchered hogs too. Now they did the storage where they stored the meat in lard and everything. They cook it up and put it in lard, but that was cold enough to butcher. We've had winters that really didn't seem cold enough to butcher, But I was thinking about it. I thought, gosh, because Corey went hunting yesterday, and I thought I was sitting outside earlier today, or went outside earlier today, and I thought, gosh, if he killed a deer in this weather, our hands would freeze off trying to skin it.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, Mr. Rain, they're a southern thing, and so you just need to Google it.
Over there.
Google love bugs. I mean, maybe I'm sure they have another name, but they're called love bugs because there's two of them that fly together, stuck together at the rear end. They got heads on each end, and it's actually two of them. And anyway, they smell bad, and that's going to be, it's all I can figure is it's just one of the effects of the curse. Because the curse of the fall, because I don't know of any, I don't think anything eats them, so I don't know of any benefit that they have. I think they're just punishment.
No, you did.
Hey, J. Mary Lestone, well, thanks for stopping in. Yeah, Nunda, that's what I got to look on the bright side. So the cold is a pain in the patoot, but at least probably be good for the garden too.
What,
the
cold?
The
yeah,
cold.
It'll help, yeah. But I mean, of course, it don't kill all the bugs, or people wouldn't have bug problems anywhere. But
yeah.
But anyway, I don't know. I can't tell. She's right up there. So anyway, you want to talk about our plans?
Yeah, talk about our plans.
Amanda's Garden said she knew she didn't like gators for a reason. What is that?
I don't know. I saw that, but I'm not sure. I didn't get the reference.
Oh.
It may have had something to do with something higher up.
Oh, I thought it had
Sorry
something to do
about
with
that,
football
Amanda.
Or something.
All right, go ahead.
Have you got your list?
I got my list. Go ahead.
Well, no, Kim's not on there. Stop, baby. One of the first things I have on my list is something we've talked about is to fence off in front of Mama's house.
I got that too. That's the first thing I've got.
To move, well, because we want to move the chickens over here.
Yep.
Um,
Well, I've actually got chicken tractor in front of Mama's house too. So I guess that's
so it's a
probably the
chicken
same
house,
thing.
yeah, because we want to be able to
chicken
move it.
house. Yeah.
But I also want to fence over in front of the trailer too.
Oh yeah, I didn't put that down.
Eventually.
Yeah, that was going to be our next step. But in fact, what we could do, and y'all ain't gonna understand this, but at least run a straight line fence from the corner where the gate is to the corner of the pasture. At least do that, because that'll prevent Blue getting out. Occasionally goats find a hole. Not even pygmy goats. I mean, just regular goats will occasionally find a hole to get out.
That's right.
And right now they've got a path to the roadway, and so that would solve that. So, write that down somewhere. And
well, I got fence around in front of the trailer. Well, what else? What do you have on your list? What's something you have?
Well, something that you gave me the idea about, and that is the two slabs that we've got poured for the watering facilities, because we had to follow NRCS guidelines, are just way too big for the number of animals. One of them is way too big for the number of animals that we have. And so Patty had the idea, and I put it down as a goal, to build a goat shed on it. To have, it'll be concrete. We could put some hay in there, but the goats, goats are funny about their feet. They don't like their feet to get wet. And so I actually thought about, Patty will draw it, and building a goat shed on part of, anyway, that concrete slab out there for the goats.
Yeah.
And that way.
And so we're going to make it.
They'll have water, they'll have shelter, and that way we can put them in there and not have to worry about moving them back to the barn. I mean, they can just stay there for however long we need them to stay there.
Yeah, I also thought about making like a milk area since there's concrete.
Yeah, you did talk about that it could be a milk room. That's awful far from the house, but
just as far as the barn is.
Yeah, probably so.
Well, that's another thing that I have on my list. I have making a new goat shed.
That's what I just got through saying.
Well, I know, but I mean, that won't be big enough to house all the goats.
Well, where are we going to do that at?
Well, I was thinking behind the shed right here or behind the beauty shop.
Yeah. Just like
where
a
it's
lean-to
closer.
kind of thing?
Yeah. Or we can have like a milk area. I definitely want a milking area closer to the house. And a place where, like, when they have babies, we can have them closer than way over there. And maybe turn that barn into like the tractor shed and for tools and implements and stuff. Kind of move the animals
kind of start
out.
moving them over this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that idea. I didn't think, I don't think I put, no, I didn't put it on here, but the county was real good. When we got that fencing, when we got those 25 acres fenced, the county was real good about coming and putting us in 2 culverts that allowed road access to the property at 2 spots. And right out in front of where we put the second of the slab, which is kind of in the woods, in the corner of that fence, that NRCS fence. The way it's laid out there right now would be a great place to put a catch pen and a loading area. But there's a little ditch, and I need another culvert. And so I'm going to be talking to our county supervisor about, I hope he'll be willing to do it. He should, and to provide me another culvert and road access right there, because, man, that would be handy. I even thought about eventually building a trailer shed, kind of thing, and then we could just park the trailer over there and lock it behind a gate and all that, and it'd be right there. and then all you have to do is just back up onto the property, hook up to the trailer, have the catch pen load any critters that we need to transport right into the trailer. So anyway, that's not on my list. It's not physically on my list, but that is something that I do have on my list, mentally anyway.
And Christy Betts thinks you looking dignified with your beard and glasses like that.
Oh, thank you very much. So I'm a dignified floating head. The beard is coming along nicely.
Okay.
I'll be 55 years old tomorrow, in fact. Tomorrow will be my 55th birthday.
Happy birthday.
And I was probably in my mid to late 40s, maybe 46-ish, something like that, before I could grow hair right here.
He's finally growing up.
Yeah, I'm finally growing up. So I tried to. I've always wanted a beard, but I couldn't have one. Couldn't have one in law enforcement unless I wanted to be a narc, and I didn't want to be a narc, and so I couldn't grow a beard. But I'm glad I'm finally growing up. But it took me 45 years or so to grow any hair on this part of my face right here. It's kind of weird. But thank you for your kindness.
All right, so
what else? What's next on your
Jeannie.
list? Hey, Jenny.
Well, I want to do some different flower beds around this house.
Oh, shucks, Mr. Rain. Thank you. He told me I was cute. Do what now?
Flower bed garden, flower beds around the house here.
Yeah, that's another thing that Patty had said she wanted to start moving some production over here. You know, I don't think we'll abandon what we've got over there, but because we don't have the space to reproduce it over here the way the property's laid out, unless we were to fence something off inside out front, and I don't see that happening. Of course, we do have access out by the road now.
Yeah, but I mean, that would be free pickings for deer.
Yeah.
We don't do that.
And neighbors.
Sherilyn Stanfield said that she knew there was a reason she liked you. Y'all share a birthday. So
How about
happy birthday to you tomorrow.
It's amazing how many of my friends, I've got a host of people that I know. In fact, when I was at the Baker Police Department, there were 3 of us at one small city police department that shared that birthday. And then another one of theirs, another one of the other guys, his son also shared that birthday. So happy birthday tomorrow, Spence, Joey, and Jay. And then we move up here, and Carrie shares my birthday, and also Betty from Ediston shares my birthday. And so that's a lot of people that have the same birthday. It's kind of funny. I always get a kick out of Facebook when I see how many people of my Facebook friends have the same birthday. It's crazy. So not many people get to have a national holiday on their birthday.
And the nesting place's birthday is today, so happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday. Ooh, remind me, I got to send a text to Hook. Brimhook.
Today's his birthday?
Today's his birthday, yeah, the day before. Okay. That's right.
So
no, Yvonne is on Cameron's birthday. I started to say Yvonne, too. But.
So what's something else on your list?
Cameron just had a birthday, by the way. He's 28.
Cameron, our oldest is 28 years old. I can't believe that. I mean, he's really a grown-up.
In 2 years, we're going to have a 30-year-old child.
Oh, my gosh. That makes it sound kind of old. Wow.
Have you seen the beard? Have you seen the hair?
They can't see my gray hair.
Let's see.
I'm getting some.
I got that critter shed on there. Oh, this is a goal that I really need to bear down on. That I need to figure out a schedule or something. But that is to be a goal for me for 2018 is to be better about firewood gathering. You know,
I can help you with that, baby.
I always have good intentions, and one thing well, for one thing, with the way my full-time job has unfolded, that has kept me busy away from the farm so much. It just kind of slips up on us, you know, and And that, when you've got 116 acres around you, there's no excuse for I need to have on my schedule regularly traveling the property looking for down trees or trees that are about to come down.
Well, and even big limbs. I mean, they
and
burn
even big
really
limbs
good in this fireplace.
In our wood burning stove, yeah.
Yeah.
But so that's a goal.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you.
Sandy Black says, "Happy early birthday." Hers is Wednesday. She's turning big 70.
Wow, thank you. Well, happy birthday to you too.
Have lots of January birthdays.
So let me just go ahead and get the rest of mine out of the way, because mine, you're going to say those aren't goals. Well, they're really not. They're really not goals, but they're things I'm looking forward to in 2018, and that is the Deep South Homestead Spring Gathering in March.
Yep.
Which will be here before you know it.
Yep.
March 11th, right? That's going to be so much fun, getting to see so many folks. I think it's really just growing and growing, and I think one day you may have started something. And then looking forward in May to being at the Great Appalachian Homesteading Conference in Tennessee. It's not in Crossville, I don't think. I think it's been moved. I can't remember where it is, but going to be there. And then in October for the second annual American Homesteaders of America Conference in Virginia. And it's not in Warrenton. It's been moved right down the road, I think, to a bigger thing. But I'm especially excited about both of those conferences because Eustace Conway is going to be at both of them. Mm-hmm. But we're big Mountain Man fans, and Eustace is the real deal. In fact, I need to order. Well, we've got to find out if we won the book. The Great Appalachian Homesteading Conference is giving away a book about him called The Last American Man. And I'd love to get my hands on a copy of it, even if we don't win that one. But his skills are amazing. But I'll tell you, one of the things I appreciate about him more than anything is when his pal Preston passed away. He just the way that he paid tribute to Preston online, on social media and whatnot, just really grabbed a hold of me, and you could just tell the depth of the bond between those two men, and kind of seemed almost like a David and Jonathan kind of bond that they had. And I can't wait to shake his hand and thank him for being willing to speak so openly about his admiration and love and the connection he had with Preston. It was a friendship that men should aspire to, and I was really moved by the things that Eustace had to say, and I can't wait to look him in the eye and tell him that. And I'll get to tell him that twice. And he probably won't remember from one time to the next, but so many people see him. So anyway, that's all I got on my list. I may think of something else, but I'm not a big list maker.
Sherry at Two Family said that Darryl's birthday is tomorrow too.
Really? I knew there was something special about him. That's pretty cool. Yeah, Jenny, we're pumped.
Yes, I'm so excited, Jenny. Oh,
more Pratt time. More time with the Pratt. And we do need to make time to just sit down and visit. Instead of just being so hurried all the time.
Yep, that's right.
So, I don't know. You think we're going to do like big booth stuff this time, or just going to... I don't think we are. I think we're just going to come be. Mm-hmm. We're going to be there.
Yes.
I will be at the Homesteaders of America conference. I will be reprising my presentation. It'll be updated with the latest, most updated information. But I will be doing my presentation again on when trauma strikes, how to survive the aftermath of trauma. And Patty may or may not be doing a sourdough bread thing. You had said you would.
I know.
You need to get with Amy about that.
Well, I might have already.
Have you?
Yeah, you might just be letting the cat out of the bag or something like that.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. You could be. But
Oops.
I'm not saying.
Oops. My bad. Okay, I'm through.
Okay. Anyway, of course, I want to have this house completely finished and cabinet doors on all the cabinets.
Have at it.
You gotta help.
I'll carry stuff for you.
Anyway,
I can't cut anything straight.
I want to.
Yeah, we need to do that.
Our workshop is the front porch.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to convert my beauty shop into a workshop.
Yeah.
But I really don't want to move the tools from right here where it's convenient when you're doing a lot of cutting and stuff like that.
Yeah,
So,
when you're cutting heavy stuff. So that's right.
So I'd
we
like
need to get that heavy stuff done.
I'd like to get this stuff taken care of, and it wouldn't take us that long to get it done. And we just have to set our minds to it and block out time and get that done. And then I want to convert my beauty shop. I want to redo the inside of it, and it's going to be my workshop, and I'm going to lock it. I'm going to have the key.
It needs a new door. Why are you going to lock it?
To keep you out.
Why?
Because every time I clean up a place and have all my tools and stuff organized and everything, somebody messes it up. And so I'm going to lock it to where nobody can.
Okay. Next.
Well, of course the kids will be pretty much gone, but still, I'm going to lock it. I guess that's about it.
Well, that wasn't too bad.
Well, I have personal goals.
Thank you, two family. Oh, you got some more?
Mm-hmm. I want to start exercising regularly. The normal New Year's resolutions.
Yeah.
I want to start exercising. I want to start walking. I want to lose weight. I want to eat better. Now we have our own milk. I want to start making cheese again.
Oh, that milk is so good.
It's really good.
Oh man, we always go nuts the first few sips of fresh goat milk when the goats come into milk. Oh my goodness, and I like it warm best. So
yeah, I don't.
Oh man, I took a swig. After I poured it up, it wasn't in the barn. I didn't think about it. I usually take a glass with me and milk some into the glass.
I can't do it
because it's extra sweet. But after I had poured it up and strained it and all that, I did take a sip of it, and gosh, it just was creamier than I remembered it. Because see, the deal with goats is they don't have a lot of cream. You have to have a ton of goat milk to do anything with the cream, to make butter or anything out of goat milk. But my tongue was just almost coated in a good way, in a creamy kind of way, and it just was so buttery, and it was really, really good. And we had our first cups of coffee with goat milk
today. Yeah.
For the season.
It was really good.
And it just was so good, man. So good. Tomas is Annie's on her way here, and Tomas is counting down. He's watching her on. Oh yeah, that's his new thing.
Yeah, show him what you learned. Tell him something.
From my girlfriend.
From your girlfriend.
You learned that from your girlfriend.
He says something and he does that.
Yeah.
Tell him something and do it.
He does the air quote thing, but he hadn't quite understood the concept behind air quotes.
Girlfriend.
And so he'll say, he'll say, hey, Monty, I want some milk. But he means milk. He doesn't mean quote unquote milk. He just means I want milk. It was so funny. You were telling. Where did you? I messed you up earlier, Tomas. Where were you on New Year's?
Yeah, tell me where you were on New Year's.
Well, first I went to Tennessee for 1 day, then Pittsburgh for 2 days, then New York for 4 days, then Washington for 3 days.
Yeah. Did y'all hear all that? The sound meter is pretty low when he was talking, but they took a road trip. Spent a night in Knoxville, and they went to Pittsburgh and stayed with some friends when it was like 0 degrees. And then they were in New York City for New Year's Eve. They stayed inside, though, because it was just too bitterly, bitterly cold, especially for little fellas.
Cold.
We didn't stay inside. We walked for the whole day.
I'm talking about for New Year's Eve night.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all stayed in the hotel. And then they went to D.C. for a couple of days. And so anyway, they FaceTimed us, I guess on New Year's Eve, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was keyed up, and he was constantly doing this, and Chelsea was just cracking up laughing, and she was telling us about his new thing, you know.
Oh, somebody asked what kind of wood stove.
It's a Harmon TL300.
They was asking what kind that
Harmon
did we suggest, but we've been very, very pleased.
Very
with that.
pleased with this one. It's large. It's a large one. It's a Harmon, which is HARMAN. A Harmon TL300, I believe. Isn't that right, Patty?
That's right. That's right.
And it's very efficient. It's almost too efficient in here. We don't have the lights on in there, so you can't. I don't think you. Yeah, no. You really can't tell, but there's a 17-foot ceiling.
Yeah, it's not efficient for
in here.
That. Yeah.
And the pipe from the stove goes straight up 17 feet. Then through the attic, which is another 6-foot opening in there, not quite. Or maybe it is.
I don't. Can you stand up straight up there?
No, not quite. So maybe 5 feet. And then the pipe comes out the roof, and it's another, 10 feet, 8 feet, 6 feet, something.
I don't know. It's above the roof.
Yeah, so, it's a very long, straight pipe. So needless to say, we'd never have a problem getting it to draw. The problem we have is that it draws so hard, you almost can't. Although we've got it figured out.
It's been working better.
When we first started putting fires in it over here, because in our mobile home, it's a short vertical and then a 45 and then up. So it never really did draw very good. So when we moved over here, or when we started doing fires over here, we were used to trying to operate it like that one, and we never could wake up in the morning with wood in the stove here. But we finally got it figured. I mean, you have to turn it. You have to load it up with wood, and then you basically have to put the air intake off. There's little notches. There's a notch that we call it 1, 2, 3, and then halfway, and then the other half is there are no notches. And we tried putting it on 2 or 1 like we did at the other house, but you have to shut it off. You have to put it all the way to the left, all the way closed, and it ain't closed. It's still sucking air in there.
Yeah.
And but it throws off some heat.
I wear apron said that Harmon is made in Pennsylvania. That's what they have.
Really? Well, how about that?
Pretty
well,
cool.
It's
we love it.
We knew it was American made, and we have 2 of them, one here and one at the other residence.
Yeah, we're very pleased.
Very, very pleased. It's a heavy sucker, and it's pedestal mounted, so it has it just sits on the not really a pedestal, but it's not feet, but anyway.
You know what? Mark Jones said to put a damper in the flute pipe.
Yeah, we could do that.
And,
well, I don't think we really need to. I mean, I think we got it figured out.
Yeah, that's true. But if we did that, then we could do. There's a way to do it. And it goes over to the side, and you can make an oven right there, or a water chamber where it heats your water. I need my water, please, right there. Thank you. Wouldn't that be cool?
That is cool. I'm game for that.
That would be really neat.
Somebody told us we ought to reroute it out the wall, but I don't want to do that. I mean, we got it. We got it worked out. I like it because it's so easy to light. Yeah, it is good. I mean, it's so easy to light because there's air coming through there all the time. And now that we figured out you can just shut it off, shut the air intake off, and it's still sucking enough air to keep it burning all night. It's fine. And
what I love about ours is that you can open up the top of it too and load wood from the top because there's a square hole there. But you can also, there's a little grill thing that, are you getting it?
Yeah.
That you can sit in the top of it too, and so you can grill stuff, and you can still lay the top down on it. And we actually did hot dogs on it last night. And so you can't put a lot of food on it, but you can cook a little bit on it, and so it's really cool.
So it's got a handle that slips down in here, and
Yeah, you see the
You
little
know,
thing.
you turn it sideways and slip it down in there, and it grabs on both sides right here. But yeah, this grill just sits down. It's made to sit right in there. You see, it's got little feet that grab the opening, and so you can cook hamburgers. You can cook a steak right there
I
in
cook
that.
pork chops on it, all kinds of.
Yeah.
Mr. Rain wants to know how many cords of wood we burn a year.
I don't know. I don't keep up with
We
it.
have
I
no
don't measure
idea
it.
because we've been really bad about, having it cut and having a wood stack and stuff. So we kind of, like he's got a tree that he was working on from last year that we got firewood off of last year, and he's got it cut like in big rounds, and he brings the splitter back there, and he'll go split a load and bring it up, and we'll burn it, and then he'll go split some more. So anyway, so we don't really haven't had like the thing. Let's see. Oh, 7D says you can get an inline oven box. Okay, I'm glad to know the name of that. I didn't know what to look for that, but I just think that would be so cool to have that there. He just came from outside.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, one thing that I forgot I have on my list that I forgot to mention. One thing that we want to do is we have a back porch off the kitchen that way, and oh, there's old Pete. This is the old man.
The old man of the farm. Probably 18 years old, best we can tell.
Yeah.
Sweetest dog ever.
He don't get around too good anymore. But anyway, on that back porch, it's 6 foot deep, and I guess it's about 12 foot long. I have no place when we planned this house. I didn't think about it. I have no place to put a freezer, and so I mean, literally no place. I mean, I guess I could put one in the bedroom. It would have to go in a bedroom or something. But anyway, so I think we're going to take in the back porch, but the way it's designed, I can see out of the kitchen on all sides, and if we totally close that in, I won't be able to see out. So I think we're going to do like a sunroom type room out there, and probably won't happen for this year because I'll need to be starting my seeds soon, but we're going to have windows, and I'm going to try and do it like a little greenhouse, have like, an area in it where, I don't know, I haven't really quite figured out the design, but I would like to be able to just start my seeds right there. So like on a windowsill that's got a lot of sun.
Yeah.
So, but that's one thing, and I think we're going to be able to do that ourselves. Our friend Bill will give us some pointers that he's got the handyman services and everything and all, but I really think that's a project we can tackle pretty much ourselves.
Yeah.
It
Miss
won't be
Rain,
too
I
expensive
would
either.
like to. I guess I'd be interested to know how much wood we burn, and I've never cared to measure it, and
Yeah.
but maybe one year I'll get around to doing that. Maybe one year I'll lay out the wood racks and fill them up and see how many cords we burn, but it ain't gonna be that many,
Yeah.
because normally, I mean, unless this is the new normal.
Sherry said they go through about 10.
Sherry at 7D.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, and
Yeah.
I don't know. Sherry, is that your primary heat? Because it's supplemental heat for us. It could be primary. If it was
Yeah.
just us, it'd be primary. But we're not the only ones living here, and so anyway, in fact, it was primary in our other house. We never turned the heater on in there.
Yeah.
But, we were just
Yeah.
laughing about the kids dressing in front of the heater, and in
From
front
the
of the wood burning
fireplace, yeah.
stove, and all the time we had a heater in the house, but we just never turned it on.
Yeah. So.
But I would be curious to do that, so that might be something I have to think about, is lay out a wood rack area and measure it out and see.
Yep.
But also I have to cut, I have to cut smaller lengths, which still I could still measure it out.
Mm-hmm. But that's about all I have on my list. I told Tommy I thought it'd be neat to be able to look back at the things that we would like to get done No new animals. There's no new animals that I would like to add to the farm. You didn't put on your list to get rid of more pigs, so
That goes without that goes without saying. And we were just talking this evening that we're going to have to get rid of some goats too.
Yeah, we had what I said 9 does, but we really have 10 counting Shaggy's doe from last year.
That's right.
10 does plus 2 new does born plus 4 little bucks. So
Yeah.
10, 12, 16, 17.
17 counting newbie.
Counting the buck, yeah.
Yeah, which we're going to have to swap out our buck this year. We'll have to we're going to try to get us a good Kiko buck. Hey, Annie's home.
Hey, Annie.
Try to get us a Kiko buck this year to replace our Nubian buck in the rotation. But, which, Spree, we're not going to get rid of Spree.
No.
I want her to die here. She's old.
Just old. She's going to retire here.
No, yeah, I know, but I'm saying I don't want to ship her off for her to spend her last days somewhere else. I want her to spend her last days here. And how old did we figure she was? 10?
8.
8?
Mm-hmm. I think 8.
Yeah, we really shouldn't have let her get bred this year, but she did.
She's doing good.
But she did fine.
She's doing real good.
Her bag looked like she wasn't producing any milk. I mean, she did bag up right before she kidded, but then it looked like it just shriveled up to nothing. But the baby is fine and rambunctious and energetic and healthy. And the other day while Spree was eating, I reached down and squirted a little bit, and she's got milk in there. So with one small kid, she's making enough.
Okay. I noticed that she was feeling out a little bit better than she was. So.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, I guess with the baby nursing both sides, but so she'll be retired, so she won't count, in the rotation. But
we just don't need that many. We just don't need that many goats.
And we need to,
But it's like trying to figure out which ones to get rid of.
The ones with the little bitty teats. Even though they produce, pretty good milk, it's just hard to milk them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like milking cats.
Well, my problem with wanting to get rid of them, that's some of the ones that have Kiko. They're a half Kiko.
I wonder if that's why they got little teats.
Probably so.
Kikos have little teats?
Well, maybe the buck we bred to's mama did.
Yeah, maybe so.
But they have good milk. Kiko goats have good milk.
Yeah, because they've got Nubian in their heritage, right?
They do.
Kikos were made from a cross between Nubians and Spanish?
A bunch of different goats.
Was it a bunch?
Mm-hmm. I think that's why they're so healthy,
Yeah, probably so, because that's the thing about Kikos, you can't hardly kill them. They're extremely, extremely hardy. They are extremely parasite resistant.
Oh, and Sherry said that they cook year round on their wood stove. So
Mama told Carlene, said we're forgetting to sing.
Oh.
No, we're not. Well, we did forget. We're not prepared to sing but I told Patty before we went on the show we got to get back on our singing rotation. I just don't have a song. We didn't pick out a song. So
yeah.
I can only imagine.
No, I can't do that because it's copyrighted. It's not public domain.
So that means you can't sing it, or you just get
I can,
fussed at?
No, I don't get fussed at. No, they won't delete it. It'll be monetized for the copyright holders of I Can Only Imagine.
So, anyway.
But we'll get back on that.
We don't have a lot of huge plans this year. Carly Ann, stop it. We don't have a lot of huge plans this year, and so hopefully we'll be able to tackle them. The plans we do have.
Yeah, I think
it's doable.
We just need to map them out and make them, put them on the calendar, so to speak. Not just
Well, one thing that we have hanging over us right now is we still have a lot of our stuff over in our trailer that we need to move over here to the house, and going through stuff and get rid of stuff and all that. That's still that's what's pressing on us right now. So it's kind of hard for us to really. Have you
ever tried to declutter with 27 years of clutter?
27 years.
No, how many? What year is it? 17. Sorry, 18.
Yeah, we've been
18
here,
years of clutter.
18 years.
I don't do math.
I thought you were trying to say how long we've been married because we've been married 30.
Yeah. No, I had the term 2018 in my head, so I'm thinking 27 years. Sorry, I just don't do math. Some people don't do Windows. I don't do math. But if you tried to declutter with 18 years of clutter, it's an overwhelming task. And we got started on it, though, this weekend and made some pretty good.
I've been started on it. I got all my clothes
I got started
here.
on my part of it this weekend and made a pretty good dent, but it's still overwhelming because there's a lot. And the bad news is we don't know where we're going to put something. We're going to have some containers, and and we were going through with extreme prejudice. I mean, just like, hey, that's really cool, but somebody else can enjoy it.
I threw stuff away that should have went into a garage sale, but it's like,
who's got time for that? Yeah, so we're just gonna bless people with it and try to get our lives
organized.
Get our lives organized. That's right. Well, thank you. Pete is handsome. He's a handsome fella. He is stone deaf. He can't hear a thing.
What I've been looking at today.
He has trouble getting around, but his sniffer still works because he'll lay in there by the fireplace but if he smells something good, he's gonna be up and coming to check it out. And I love that old dog. He's a sweet. He was grown when he showed up here.
Mama said it's time to sing.
Oh, Mama said it's time to sing?
I told her we didn't have a song.
No. I guess we could sing Amazing Grace again.
I tell you what, I've been looking at today. Tell me, I got this. I love it.
Look at that. Thanks, Tara.
Thank you, Tara. I just love it. I'm not the kind of person. My friend Therese is the kind of person that will get a cookbook and read a cookbook, and I've never been one like that. I'll thumb through a cookbook sometimes and all, but I mainly use it when I'm looking up a recipe or something. But I have been reading Tara's cookbook. It is so neat, and it's been so encouraging for me. She's actually got different menu plans in here, which that was one of the things that I've been thinking that I need to start back planning my menus and everything instead of just going off the cuff and everything. But she's got all kinds of different encouraging tips in here about saving money and everything, and some of the stuff that I've actually done before that I need to be reminded of and everything. So it's so much more than a cookbook. But y'all, I have been thumbing through the recipes too. There's a recipe for everything in here. It is packed full of recipes, and she's got some different recipes in here, but she's got everyday recipes in here too. She actually has a grocery list. Burritos is right here. Cheeseburger rolls. Just all kind of different stuff in here that would put
Mr. Rain.
Put variety in your
and not break the bank. That's why they call it dining on a dime.
So if y'all haven't gotten Tara's book, y'all need to get it. It is really, really good. Really good. So I've been enjoying it. So it's been an encouragement to me to try and start meal planning a little bit better.
We better sing or Mama's going to be upset.
Okay. You can sing.
Well, you're going to sign, right?
You want me to?
Well, yeah. They want you to. All right, so we'll do Amazing Grace. That's a good standby, right? Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Man, how about just forgetting the words just right off the top of your head like that? No. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear, the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Twas grace that led me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. When we've been there 10,000 years, bright shining as the sun, we've no less days to sing God's praise than when we first begun. Remember, everybody, whether you eat or drink or whatever you do, do all to the glory of God. That's 1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 31. And it's good advice because you exist to bring glory to God.
Yes.
If you ever wondered, what's my purpose in life? There it is. You exist to bring glory to God. And He's worthy of it because He is goodness, He is light, He is righteousness, He's kind, He's merciful. He's holy, He's righteous, He's perfect, and He's just, and He will not allow the guilty to go unpunished. That's the bad news. The good news is He took the punishment on Himself. The most unfair thing that's ever happened is that the perfect King of righteousness suffered in the place of a worm like me. And He took my sin and gave me His righteousness. I'll never get over that, and you shouldn't even. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you want to know more information, then reach out to me. I'll be happy to talk to you about it, answer any questions you might have, and help you come to understand that your purpose in life is to glorify the God who made you. And it'll set you free, I promise. Well, thank you guys for joining us, for putting up with us going a little bit overtime. We're 6 minutes over.
Thank you, guys.
Tomas says, thank you guys. And hopefully by next week, can't promise it, but by next week we should have our normal setup back. Oh, this hadn't been bad though. I don't know. Yeah, I can't go over to Facebook like this. And so anyway, yeah, we're going to be singing and signing Amazing Grace on March 11th at the Deep South Homestead Spring Gathering. And if I had to guess, that won't be the only singing going on.
I hope not.
we may sing into the night. But anyway, we appreciate you guys. We love y'all. We thank you for your kindness toward us and our family. And thank you for caring about what we do and what we have to say.
Yep.
See you next time.
Good night.
Bye.